can't expect her to really find a nice full expression of the background, right? So first things first, just getting the person definitely to point their feet back. Making sure the feet are about hip width. Some schools of yoga say bring your feet together. It's actually up to you. I think all of it works. The wider you go with your legs, with your heels wider than your hips, actually the more you'll start to promote external rotation for the natural human body. So about hip width is the right place. If you want to come together, it'll promote adduction of the thighs, which sometimes helps with internal rotation. Your choice, your choosing, okay? The feet point straight back. You might even help them get their pesky pinky toes to the mat. And help them fan out their feet maybe by tickling their feet, right?
A common alignment cue here, or even an up dog, is to press the pinky toe edges of the feet down. If you're only pressing the pinky toe edges of your feet down,
Then you over-internally rotate.
then right, your feet end up turning out as well, and then you have to use your butt to lift up. Okay, so yes, the pinky toe edges are pressing down, but can you also lengthen through the inner leg at the same time? So you're just looking for a neutral foot, right? Not here, but here. I think that's neutral.
Okay. So, and a good way to check if they are pushing down through their feet, what I like to do, if people think they're pushing down, I'll just try and lift them. If I can't lift them, then I know they're actually using their quads, they're actually engaging their legs. If they're not pushing down, then that comes up, right? So press down firmly to the tops of the feet. Then here, now we'll get to the butt and the rotation of the thigh bones. Go ahead. Do your no-no. That's where most of you go, when you engage your legs.
Right, so if I'm squeezing my butt, my feet are light again, right? But if I'm pushing down through my feet, my butt's not squeezing. See the difference?
That's the difference. You have definitely more butt than I do.
As it should be.
It should be, I like that. Good. Keeping your feet rooted. So the kneecaps actually lift off the floor. If the kneecaps are lifting, then the quads are actually starting to fire to help straighten the leg. Okay? She pushes down through her feet, and as she pushes down, she wants to feel like she pushes down and is almost pulling the back of the mat towards her pelvis. So there's a push down and pull action. Inner thighs continue to lift. You might even put your hand there and help them lift the inner thighs just to make sure the bottom is soft. I only touch it because she's my wife, but most students you probably wouldn't want to touch the bottom. You can make
Especially
sure.
not like this.
Feet are rooted. Now, with the feet rooted, come to full shape. Forehead comes down, back of the hands come to the mat. Before she even lifts her shoulders, one major component is transverse. I want her to lift her navel in and up, which you'll see, it's a very subtle movement. Drop your belly again. Look at her pelvis, okay? Watch when she lifts her navel. It moves the tail, it moves the pelvis to neutral, which in the back bend naturally you're going to have an anterior pelvic tilt. We all go this way, okay? But we want to minimize how much anterior is going on and make it a little more neutral. So lifting the navel and trying to keep it up hard, but be very conscious of lifting the navel in and up. Okay, Uddiyana Bandha. Pressing down to the back of the hand, she lifts her shoulders. Now, shoulder blades do not collapse together. They draw down and they press in towards the heart. Gaze, you're not dropping your head back so that you're closing the back of the neck. You want to keep all four sides even. Feet are staying rooted, hands are rooted. One of the best adjustments I've ever gotten, I love this, was to take my palm, or just to have a palm on the crown of the head. I'm lightly pressing. I'm actually giving her resistance. I want her to think, how much can she push forward into my hand with her head? Which will help her. Maybe it'll create a millimeter of space, but there's just a little more length in her spine. She wants more resistance. I'm pushing pretty hard now. But she's actually pushing back. She's getting longer, which promotes more height. And notice, yeah, there's a little creasing here, but there's also creasing here, which is what we're trying to create, a nice even arc with the back. And release. Good. All right? So we're just looking for the spine. If you think about an archway, are the best archways or the most supportive archways ones that have a pinnacle like this, or are they ones that are nice and even, right? The most structure you have is when the curve is a nice curve, it's an arc, versus a pyramid. Right? And that's what you're trying to do with the spine. You don't want to just bend in one area, you want to keep it long. Spinal extension versus spinal compression.
So
Okay?
if you're not quite sure, even in your own body, and you're worried that if you work with someone, how the heck are you going to know? What you're looking for is what you're not looking for. So what you're looking for as maybe an adjustment to get them out of is if you see this. See the difference between that really, really lifted, okay, but it's all in my low back right now versus this. Okay, so look at the feet first. The feet will tell you everything.
Someone who can get up really, really high, but they externally rotate, they're going to say they don't feel much when you try to bring them to neutral, but they need to go back to the floor, they need to go back to neutral. You need to set up their feet, help them with their thighs, help them with their belly position, help them with the shoulder blade position, and even the head, and have them become longer. Because they're good at bending up. They're good at using their muscles that way. But can they actually lengthen and lift at the same time? I know it's kind of tedious, it's maybe a boring back bend, but this is a very key fundamental back bend. Because what you do here, once you end up on your hands and you're in the supine position, it's going to also play into how you do your Urdhva Dhanurasana, how you do your bridge pose, which will be next. Okay? So let's try this.